I am the Headless Headhunter, a corporate recruiter here to review your resumes to get you ahead of your job search. So the first resume we have up is a data analyst. This person has sent me a lot of information, but none of it is necessarily really relevant. Not trying to be mean. I just I don't know if there's anything here. They mentioned gaps, and honestly, gaps are not a huge deal. I know that candidates think gaps are like a deal breaker, but they're really not. If it's over 2 years, it can be problematic, but gaps are not as big a deal as people think they are. It's mostly candidates that are more worried about gaps than it is the actual managers and recruiters. So, except for 1 in 100, they get real mean with it, in which case they kind of most people are not that. So what we're going to be looking for in a data analyst, and I do not know the ratio of this resume, which is how many resumes it takes to get an interview, is SQL, Excel, Tableau, Power BI, AI, ML, Jira, Python, R, subject matter expert, data visualization, ETL, which is extract, transform, and load, I think, off the top of my head, stakeholders, and solve issue with data. So let's dig into this and see if we can have it. So created a series of Tableau dashboards, good, and worksheets to show contract value and amount recovered, value loss. So here's the problem is you said an awful lot here, and I only really created a series of Tableau whatever dashboards and worksheets. That you could have ended this sentence here. I mean, I would like to know what you who you did it for, which I actually still don't know. Oh, insurance. Okay. So you could have had worksheets for insurance adjusting. You could have just said that. But the rest of this is kind of irrelevant. Remember, it's what, which is the keyword, and ideally you can have more keywords than one, but a summary sentence for your first sentence under every job is okay. But then I need more keywords. So reformatted claim summary data to more accurately reflect financial. I don't care about any of this. Imported old data from cloud storage to FileVine. Nothing here I care about. Banking tools, financial advisors. Yeah, nothing here I really need. Also, let me open my window. Nothing here. Yeah, so the biggest problem is I am looking for 75% of this. This would be the goal. I would like to see, ideally, SQL, Excel, Tableau, Power BI, and then some of the other stuff, like Tableau or Power BI. Usually it's both, but I think you can get away with having one and some of the others. The only thing I found here is Tableau or Tableau. I will never pronounce these words right. So, the table, I only see that, and that's it. There's nothing else here. So you're so concerned with the gap that your bullet points don't give me what I need. This is why you're having an issue. Sold and managed memberships, again, don't really care. Education, I don't know if Coursera is useful or not. The biggest issue with certs is they may not be relevant to the person reading it, so I don't know how relevant that is for a data analyst. It might be, it might not be, but this is, and here I don't even think people can see this because it's all the way down. So your education should go at the top. I don't know if this is needed or not, but just graduating with a bachelor's in mathematics is going to put you ahead of the game. Just put mathematics, actuarial science concentration. If you just had this, and then under that, maybe the Google data analysis certificate. I know that would mess up the timeline a little bit, but whatever. That will help you out because they want this. This is arguably one of your best qualifications, and you hide it all the way down here specifically for data analysis. I can never pronounce it. But yeah, you basically have nothing here that I would want, and you're very concerned with the gap, but the gap doesn't matter. This is okay, whatever, this is fine. The dates here are okay. I'm a little concerned that it shows a little bit of job hopping. So let's see, if anything, maybe let this one go, but it's still not terrible. So it's just, I don't have the keywords. None of the dates matter if I don't have what I need in here. So this is what I need for data analysis, at least in the United States. And you have it down here, right? But this doesn't count. You cannot have a skills section. I will, this is a hill I will stand on. If you have a skills section, it's not needed. At best, it's redundant, because if it's not in the bullet points, they will decline you. At worst, is they miss what is in the bullet points because you overloaded their brain. All right, so skill sections don't matter unless director level, but director level resumes are very different regardless. So this can be deleted. Your education needs to be up at the top. And then here needs actual bullet points that I need. The only good thing is your very first part, which is fine, but that's it. There's nothing else. So please, 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 please add more. And yeah, the formatting's a little wrong, but this is not a formatting issue. This is a bullet point issue because there's just nothing here that I could use. So that's all I can do for this one. If anybody else wanted to submit their resume, feel free to submit it in the link below, or alternatively, if you need more help, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST till about 2 o'clock, I tell you how to do your job search on live stream. That's where I record these. That's where I find these keywords. And please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. So now let's go to the next video. Next resume. My brain. There's still 4 more or 5 more resumes in this video. This is a resume of a full stack developer. So what we're going to be looking for in the United States, at least, this person I think is applying in both Canada and the US. I have not checked Canada's full stack, but I do know that the US and the EU is slightly different in what they want. So maybe there's a slight difference in Canada, but what we're going to be looking for in the US at least is TypeScript, Python, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, Next.js, MongoDB, SQL, React.js, API, REST, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, and cross-functional, which I'm still unsure if that should be in the bonus points or not. But actual bonus points are architecture. There's always a good word to use in software development, extra languages that you have, and Git. So I don't know this person's ratio. No, we do not know this person's ratio, but let's see if this works for recruiters, which is what they wanted to know, and probably not because it's double column. I don't think I've ever seen a double column resume be better than a single column resume. So yeah, you really want your format to look like this. The extra colors are not terrible. It's just double. This is never good. So education, normally I say should be at the top. I don't know if that's an actual CS type degree, so that's okay. If your degree is not relevant to the job that you are searching for, particularly in like a STEM field, then you should probably put it at the bottom. But I don't know if that is a CS type degree or not, but we don't actually need to know when you started. We just need to know that you graduated. So this kind of already fails because it's double column. And the reason double column fails is people get confused about what formatting is good. We don't care that it looks pretty. This looks prettier than this, right? Obviously. This is nice and it's pretty, but the fact is we see so many resumes in a row, you can get sort of resume fatigue, because like if you read like 35 resumes in, how long do we have to do? So it's about 15 seconds a resume. So you have 15 seconds a resume and then about 15 seconds of bookkeeping to disposition that person if they are or are not qualified. And we see about 30 to 35 of them every 30 minutes or so. Then we have to keep going. And when you're looking at that many resumes in a row, this is a terrible format. So please put it to single column. Also, everybody put skill sections. They don't matter. Skill sections don't count, except for directors, but director levels are very different. So we need to see it here. All right. So let's see if they actually have the keywords here. Maybe they do. Maybe they have succeeded in spite of the bad formatting in the giant skills section. So although I feel like the font is a little small, but so architected, good, always a good word, and led end-to-end development of React. So that is, React is good for full stack applications built with Gatsby framework, overseeing front-end and back-end implementations. Responsibilities include outlining the work structure, WBS, what is work structure breakdown? I've never heard that before. Testing with Playwright, I don't think. Headless content management system. Hey, headless. Sorry, but that's not relevant to the resume, but I did like it. System CMS could be, and GraphQL. Everybody puts GraphQL. I feel like I've never seen GraphQL on like any job description. And implementing CI/CD pipelines. So here's the problem with this. You had 3 things I wanted, one of which is a bonus. 1, architected. Always good to say. You know what? And led to end-to-end development of development. Like this here is a solid first part of a sentence right here. This is good. But here, I don't really care about any of this. Again, I really don't know why. I got to double check to see if anything else has GraphQL, but I like never see it. in here. So like, if you just ended the architect and led end-to-end development of React with both front-end and back-end by implementing CI/CD pipelines for scalability, that would be a good first sentence. So first off, everything here needs to be one sentence. You can have a run-on sentence. It's okay if it's 3 lines, but it needs to be one sentence. But you added a bunch of extraneous stuff. I don't think I care about WBS, CMS specifically for full stack, or headless content management. I'm sorry. I'm a fan of Doolahans and headless because that's my channel name, but it's not something that I would be looking for in a full stack. Unless the manager very specifically said it, but I don't think they will. Collaborate closely with editor team. So you can just use cross-functionally because this essentially would be cross-functional. So it's also okay to just say that here. I'm not knocking the resume for this part. Outcomes, continuous communication. Yeah, nothing here that I need besides the one word of cross-functional. But editing code to feedback, but GitHub, again, is a bonus. Git or GitHub, it's both work. Hosted, season, yes. This one is mid. So you are a leader, and that is okay because you're doing like lead dev roles. Hosted knowledge sharing sessions, developer experience performance with the team is okay, but I would prefer a little bit like boringer than just fostering a culture of continuous learning. Just like did code reviews and taught X, Y, and Z to them. But this is the right idea. So here's the problem. This right here, not getting formatting, has I don't know if people kind of like 2. I have React and CI/CD. Architected is good, yes. And there was another thing that was solid, but Git was good. But those are bonuses. I need this. This needs to be here. The basic boring tools you use every day is what's going to get you a job. I will, that is a hill I will stand on. I swear to you. You put the boring basic ones there, you will get a job. Also, I would like some form of cloud at your level. They really do want cloud. So spearheaded the end-to-end. React, again, React is good. Gatsby, GraphQL, and the API is solid, blah, blah, blah. Where's the cloud? Again, doesn't count here. You will get completely declined if you only have it here. You cannot just list out the skills here. I need to see how you use them, which is functionally of what a resume is. As people get confused, they think a resume is how good you are, and that's not true. Resumes do not show how good you are. That is what interviews are. Resumes show that you meet the bare minimum qualifications, and these are the bare minimum qualifications up above my head. So yeah, this doesn't really work. At all. This is the type of resume that would work well, actually exactly in 2022 before the job market crashed. Probably would not work in today's economy. During 2021 to 2022, massive boom, tons of jobs. If you had a resume like this, you would probably call this candidate to find out. Right now, during this market, we do not have the time, and there are hundreds of others that actually have the stuff we need. So this is a bad resume. It's just not a good resume. You've almost got it though, which is kind of the part that bugs me. Is like, this is a great opening sentence, and then all of this is largely junk except for CI/CD and React. So three. There we go. 3 things I needed: CI/CD, React, and not 2. Brain. This resume is breaking my brain. Yeah. So single column. You need way better bullet points. And these are the exact keywords I would be looking for in the bullet points, which you need to do. So fix that and you'll have a way better luck, because I assume you're actually very, very good. But again, a resume does not tell us how good you are. It's a fallacy. People think that, but that's not actually the point of a resume. So next, resume. This is a resume of a quantitative trader / developer intern. So these keywords may not be 100% accurate, and I know this looks like a giant wall of text, but essentially it's going to be Python, R, MATLAB, and then like mathematical modeling, probability theory, statistics, and finance, and then anything that is in like markets or finance or trading, including clubs or personal. So that's basically all this is. And then as per usual, it is the ability to work well with others and takes direction and criticism. So those are what we're going to be looking for. And again, not again the first time, this person is applying from France, and I am a US based recruiter. So I could not find the France quantitative trader roles because they were in French and I could not read them. So These may not be 100% accurate, but I do know these are. But essentially, you need a little bit of the coding, and then you need to show an interest or have previously done something related to that in like modeling or markets, and the ability to work well with others and takes direction and criticism. So that's what we're going for, and that's what we need. I broke my computer stuff. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So hopefully that is the equivalent over in France or wherever this person is applying. But let's begin. So, French citizenship, okay. Master's degree, exchange. I don't know if you need this part. You can't. This should be able to be one line. Technical manager, executed Python, good. Gemini API solutions. I don't know if I care about that, but it's not too much. For automating document generation and spearheading a Flask backend, enhancing stability with Docker. Yeah, I don't care about any of this. I like even the actual senior roles. They didn't say like created a giant automated document generation. They just said, have you used Python, R, or C++? I don't have C++ on there, but it was one of them. Or MATLAB. So this is sort of extraneous. Drove development in 3 hackathons, building data-centric while mastering advanced Docker. I don't care about any of that. Defining the commission, associate information operation, international architect. Again, we're not I'm wondering, did I get the right resume? Yes, I did. I had to double check to make sure. They're not looking for a master coder. They're looking for someone that is a trader who can code. Now, maybe it was more of the quantitative developer, because you said trader / developer, so I was looking at the trader under the assumption that they are the same. It's possible developer jobs and trader jobs, both in the quantitative space, are different. So I guess this is specifically for trader rather than developer. So built and validated simulators for, again, rate modeling is something I'd like, but the rest of this is too much. No one's going to find that. Okay, don't care. Utilize frameworks. Again, you're focused so much on this coding, but like nothing on the markets. Launched for structure from Codebase, Python, deep understanding of LMs. Again, I'm not looking for this, right? Like it's like going to a fast food place asking for a burger and they give you a vanilla milkshake, right? I did not want that. What I'd be looking for is that you've done some kind of stuff in the markets or finance. And I think I saw one bullet point with that. And I'm just looking for a little bit of Python. The quantitative trader roles, they were not looking for a master coder. They were looking for a trader that knows some coding. And that is the difference. This is very heavy on the tech skills. So maybe it's good for the developer, but again, I cannot really search for 2 separate positions. So I don't really see what it is here. This just does not work as a quantitative trader intern. The degree is good. Again, it should just be like one line, but I need to know, why are you trading, right? Have you done stuff in the markets? Have you developed stuff for that? Because I don't know. I don't know what stochastic modeling and simulation was. Even the senior ones, I don't think I even saw that as a qualification. And if it's not on the qualification in the job descriptions that you're basing your resume on, because you should be basing your resume on the job title you want, not the individual job. If it's not in the conglomerate of like 8 to 10 other job descriptions, it's probably not relevant. It may be impressive to you, and it may be impressive by itself, but it's not relevant. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a project coordinator. So project coordinator is sort of like the pre version of a project manager. Sometimes project manager jobs are actually project coordinator jobs, and sometimes vice versa, but it's essentially the pre-version of a project manager. So we're going to be looking for sort of what they're looking for in a project manager, but not quite as deep. This person has been looking for about 2 years, and their ratio is 150. They just switched to my format, so we don't know the ratio for that, but let's see if their keywords are good. And what we're going to be looking for in involving keywords and qualifications are multitasking. This was huge. Honestly, this is across most, my glasses are messed up. Sorry, y'all. Most, resumes, we need multitask. It's just really common. So Microsoft Office, Google Workspace, Smartsheets, Jira, Confluence, Excel, MS Project, Outlook. You don't need all of these. I want to be very clear. Realistically, if you have a single sentence that just say use Microsoft Office, and then in parentheses is Excel, Outlook, PDF, and one other thing, you should be fine. So you don't need all of those. Proactive problem solving is huge. As a project coordinator, your job is to, well, get ahead of problems. We need to see how you've gotten ahead of them. And this is the case where I don't necessarily need a brag, but I need to see how you succeeded. So it could be a brag, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. I just need to know that you got ahead of the project. So client, customer, stakeholder interaction, any of those, again, typically for project management positions, they say stakeholders, but for project coordinator, they may say clients or customers. They just want to know that you're not afraid to talk to people in positions of power, whether they be internal stakeholders or customers, and basically, help them out. Bonuses are admin support and CAPM. So manage 20 to 30 simultaneous escrow closing projects. That is okay. I don't know how important they are, but here's the thing. I mean, you could just manage 25 to 30 projects. You don't need simultaneous closing projects. You can just say, I mean, you can keep simultaneously, but you don't need to say escrow projects. You can just say projects. So manage 25 to 30 projects by tracking tasks in real estate closing software, Resware, which is good to say, but again, I don't know if that's what they're looking for. They're really going to be looking for one of these. So holding daily check-ins with escrow officers and ensuring all pre-closing documentation was submitted on time, resulting in a 98% closing rate. So here's the thing. This is fine. You don't need to say 98% on-time closing rate. I don't know what that means. I don't know how important that is. Is that important? Yes, but some companies want a 99.9% rate or 100. So all pre-closing you don't have to say all pre-closing. You can just say and ensuring documentation was submitted on time. So you kind of added a little of extra stuff that I don't need. But this is a good way to show multitasking. So, and I do like this. Like, were escrow officers the stakeholders? I mean, you could just say internal, like, project holders or internal stakeholders, because stakeholders doesn't have to be like CEO. Sometimes it could be manager Bob McBoberson over at Bob's Bob Part. So, but not bad. I don't want to be, this is better than what you had before, which I remember was being very bad. So led the setup phase for each closing project by coordinating with title, underwriting, and funding teams. So cross-functional, that's good. Through shared Outlook calendars and CRM tools. Yeah, that's good. Again, I don't know if we need necessarily reducing errors or not, but the rest of this is fine. Although I feel like I would like a little bit more, but that's not bad. Resolved project restraints by involving HOA, estoppels, and payouts. This is okay. By proactively okay, so I think you just need to rewrite this. But this percentage is not a great percentage because I don't know what it means, but the rest of it is fine. So, but like I would say, instead of let's rephrase this as proactively resolved project issues by contacting AX, verifying documentations, and escalating unresolved issues, which allowed us to be on time or whatever. So that you just kind of want to rewrite that a little bit, but it's not a bad sentence by itself. Monitor project milestones using MS Project and Resware. So again, I don't know if Resware is that important. I think it's okay to put it up here in case you're applying to other real estate stuff. They may actually like that, but if it's not, then I don't know if you really need to put that on or not. Like Resware is kind of overdoing it. So, have one Resware. Oversocket. Yeah, the rest of this is solid. So yeah, this is pretty solid. It's much better than your previous one. Again, I think you just have some extraneous stuff here. Look at the job descriptions you're applying for, like really dig into them and make sure this stuff is here. So you did have it. Like I said, you just need to reword like this part and reword, where is it, like here? But we're not necessarily looking for brags. So let's go to the next resume, but this is much improved base before what your previous one was. So, whew, I cannot speak. Next resume. This is a resume of a AI program manager which as far as I could find is basically the same as a normal program manager, except the industry right here is going to be AI. So I'm going to be needing to see AI stuff, PMP, Microsoft Project and Visio, Microsoft 365, MS Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, pivot tables, cross-functional, highly matrixed organization, stakeholders, customers, clients, how you succeeded and managed multiple projects at the same time. So let's see if you have it, which you probably do. This is a 1 in 50 resume, so I'm guessing the bullet points are good, but maybe they could be a little bit better, and some of the formatting is wrong, because a 1 in 50 is not terrible, unless you're like an accountant or something. So the job market is just tough. So ideally, though, we could get you better than that. Because I've gotten people from 1 in 500 to 1 in 25. So that is the ratio after doing the stuff I've done. And you said, okay, cool. So data-driven leader, blah, 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 blah. Don't care. Large scale. Yeah, this doesn't matter. Again, summaries don't matter. This doesn't matter as well. I mean, it's okay as a director or program manager, you can kind of put like MS Office and Google Suites, but ideally the rest of this doesn't matter and it's kind of taking up the space. So we do need to see your degree though, if it's relevant. So this should be replaced with your degree. Education technology company that creates digital resources. So this is okay, but this should still be a bullet point, but you said people don't know what your company does, and I know this is sound weird. It doesn't matter what your company does, it matters what you do. It could very well be that you work at a construction company, but your part of it is in the AI like databases that they sell for their construction equipment, right? So I don't necessarily care what your company does. I care about what you do and your part of that industry. So let's see. So this doesn't necessarily need there, but act as. Why do you need to say act as? Voice of the customer, gathering feedback. See, this is not. What do you mean, project manager for that? Okay, this is not a good summary, right? I don't know. It could just say you could just say managed our yearly customer survey. But that also doesn't really sound like something a manager would do. Like, you need to sort of show me. But, like, this is good. Analyze win-loss reports from management improvements. Direct communication structure, company for company acquisition, ensuring clear information flow. Process of company manuals and playbook. This can be actually pretty good. So, coordinated, led weekly sales event, 100 people. Okay, so this is all over the place. So you said your problem is you're a jack of all trade. So here's the thing. You can be a jack of all trade. I'm a good recruiter because I'm a jack of all trade. But you cannot write your resume as a jack of all trade. Jack of all trade is a master of none is oftentimes better than a master of one. That is the full saying. But you cannot write your resume like that. You need to be specific. So here is good, like developed an onboarding strategy for hires. But like I need you to focus because there's so much here, but these are not individually bad bullet points. They're just kind of all over the place. So, like, led a company-wide initiative connecting sponsors and educators for volunteer opportunities. Managing 300 annual event requests and fostering community engagement is great. But then you also started off with a survey. I mean, a survey doesn't sound like... If I had to choose between leading a company-wide initiative, managing 300-plus events, and a survey, I would believe that the events would show a better use of management. So there's a lot here, and some of your bullet points are not bad. I want to be very clear, like these are not garbage bullet points or not, because like this is solid, right? Developed an onboarding strategy for 65 new hires to contribute to a 15% increase in employee satisfaction from the annual company survey. This is a phenomenal use of how you say metrics and what you do, and can be something from here, from the actual list. Because again, this is sort of how you succeeded, and this sort of shows that. Fosters partners with extraordinary dreamy per internal employee. So yeah, this is just kind of all over the place, and I think you need to focus. Because here, collaborated and work closely. You could just say work closely. Collaborate and work closely mean the same thing. To improve and build programs. So your big thing is you're not telling me how you did this. So I need you to focus, because this is kind of all over the place. And this is a lot of stuff, but individually they're not bad. So I'm going to need you to focus on what you specifically want to do in this. Are you doing sort of the managing, which again, managing other people is not necessarily a program management. Program management at its basic level is somebody that manages a multitude of different like programs and projects. So they're sort of the manager above the project manager. Sometimes the terminology can get a little different, but this right here, where it was where did it go? Coordinated lead weekly, providing them with training sessions. This could be more of like a manager. So break this down into a manager and break this down into a program manager, because you've got too many chaotic things over here. And individually they're not bad, but it's possible to miss what we want. So, and I'd like to know a little bit about how you did it, but like, write it like this. This is good. This is how you write metrics. I want to be clear. This is a good metric. Not everything needs to be a metric, but this is a good one. Creation of feedback. Again, like this could be good, but like, what are you? You said AI program manager. I don't see anything of AI here. Not a single thing. So make this down into, I'd say 5 to 8 bullet points. 8 would be fine, and then go from there. But there's just, yeah, and then this is a teacher, but this can be good. It's all over the place. So focus on what you want to do, and then make your resume based on that. And let's go to the next resume. But again, this is why it's 1 in 50. Is the formatting is kind of easy to read, and it's possible in that giant well of bullet points that we see something that we would want to move forward with, but I don't see any AI. This is a resume of a project manager. That's what they wrote. Their ratio is very bad. It's about 260 applications to a single interview. They basically said they applied to 1,300 plus and have only gotten 4 to 5. So that breaks down to, at best, 260 applications to an interview, which is really, really not good. So what we're going to be looking for, a project manager, which is different than a program manager, which is different than a project coordinator, is the details about how and why you did X. This is going to be a case of where what you did is less important necessarily than how you did it. We need to see how you did X and Y. How you made things happen compared to how you did things. PMP, CSM, huge benefits. Customer, stakeholders, agile, industry. So industry is what kind of industry you're going to, because healthcare project managers are going to have slightly different keywords than, say, like SaaS project managers. And then the number of team members that were on your team, dotted line reports, basically. Matrix, cross-functional, and then the number of projects, the budgets, how you multitask, how you use resources, how you solve problems, and influence people. So I really need to see, like, how you did what you did. That's the most important part. So, summary: experienced QA and agile team leader with 4+ years in software testing, workflow, coding. Again, this doesn't matter. Everybody puts summaries and they just don't matter. Like directors can kind of do it, because typically they've got like 20+ years or 10+ years across a variety of stuff, but most other people should not. So, earned, okay, actively computed, build and test. None of these are useful. Wait, what? Why do you have this? Developing a career portfolio and applying to internships? That's not... I don't even know what the SAFE E and 5.1 CSM certs are. Wait, did you? Oh, no, you did get a CSM cert. Here's the thing. I got so confused with the SAFE 5.1 that I missed the actual cert I'm looking for. Where's your education section? Yeah, this is good. Okay, so this is an agile. All right, so this is a bad resume. Exceeded monthly KPI goals by 15% through Scrum. What? I don't... Okay. So wait, you were only there for 3 months? I don't understand this resume. I need you to redo this, because I am thoroughly confused about everything in here. It looks like... So here's part of the problem is this kind of looks like you're a job hopper. I'm assuming that you were unemployed for 3 to 4 years, which is, again, while not great, is not necessarily the end of your application. But then you were here, and the first things I see are you've only been here for a couple of months and a couple of months. And that's not a good look. Job hopping is a very big red flag, which you are on the cusp of. And none of these bullet points make sense. This is why none of this works. E-commerce, okay, so this can be useful. But then you're oh my gosh, okay. So you've got a CS degree. Okay, it's in progress, that's fine. You've got a computer, what? You've got 2 computer science bachelors? Why do you have 2 bachelors in the same field? What? Okay, everything here is kind of off. I'm sorry, normally I don't like be quiet, but like, I'm not saying this to be me. This is why you're getting a terrible ratio. So I'm trying to think of where to start this over, and essentially we need to redo all of it. So redo all of it. I mean, the formatting's okay. This can be deleted. So replace the summary. Okay, holy crud, everything here is just off. So nothing here should be, you know what? No, use this formatting. It helps. You need your education up here. What we're looking for is primarily going to be the Scrum Master. So you want to put the Scrum Master up first, which is the CSM. Then following that with your bachelor's, your first bachelor's. Do not mention your second because it's not related. I don't need the rest of this. I just need to know that you've got your bachelor's. So it should be your Scrum and then the Master's, or the Scrum, then the maybe the safe. I don't know if this is needed. And then, yeah. Oh, judo. That's neat. I like judo too, but that's not where you want to put it on your resume. So, okay. Here we go. So, format it like this. Under education, you're going to put the CSM first, then the Agile, which I do not know if it is or is not needed, but Agile can be a benefit, so I'm going to go with the assumption that it is. And then you're going to put your first bachelor's, and this is only going to be 3 lines. No more than 3 lines total. Not all of this. It's just going to be this, and then this, and then this with this. So this will be 1 line. Okay, then we're going to your actual first experience. Now, you can have projects. Projects is okay. But this is not how you write them. I don't know what any of this is. So assuming you have no projects, we're going to go to this. This is what we're going to do. I don't know what a general manager of a depot is. I need you to tell me. I need you to tell me why this was important. What were your KPIs? You should have been the ones establishing KPIs as a project manager. Then we can actually go through this. But none of these are really what I would be looking for. In fact, I don't even know if you were like... This seems to be more like a manager than a project manager. But I don't know. Then you want to delete the vehicle test operator because I don't think that's related at all. Then you can keep this. But I need better bullet points. Supervise and train e-commerce team of 14. There we go. This is your first good bullet point all the way down here. So I need you to tell me a little bit more. Supervise an e-commerce team of 14 is good in a startup environment, is good. But then what did you do? I don't know. You did not tell me. Promoted in 6 months, expanding vendor. Okay, but wait, was this the same job? Where was your promotion? Okay, I need you to clarify. Assume I know nothing about you. Assume I don't even know what CSM is. It's good that you have it. That's a good one, but these bullet points are not going to fly. If you need to come on the channel, you can, and I can help you out. But these are not how you write them. This is your only good bullet point in the entire thing, and even then, it's still a little bit lacking. So you can safely delete this. You can delete this, and then you know what? If you just do that and put your education up at the top with the 3 lines that I'm looking for, which is CSM, Agile, and your bachelor's, your first one, you will probably get a 1 in 100 ratio, which is not good, but it's better than 260. But you need better bullet points. I need you to describe how you did it and why you did it. For project managers and managers, the how and why is arguably more important than the what. and this doesn't tell me. So that's it for this video. I hope it was beneficial. I'm not trying to be mean. I just want to make sure that you learn this because it is time consuming to have to apply to all those jobs. And it's exhausting. And if you need more help, you can stop on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 a.m. PST till about 2 o'clock. And if you need a resume reviewed, submit it below. But that is the end of this video, and I hope you all have gotten some knowledge so that this can help you out on your job search.